Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side. And one of the reality shows that we do every week is Below Deck. I'm so excited, I love it. They just had their season premiere, their season finale, and they've got the reunion show next week. But before we get into Below Deck, so yeah, I did just get out of the shower, that's why I've got a wet head. But, I wanted to mention something. So, you know, the other night when I was doing all those, when I had to burn all those calories by doing the steps videos because it was too fucking cold to go outside. First of all, it's been a lot better since then because I've been able to walk in the daytime and it wasn't so cold in the daytime that my ears thought they were gonna like fall off or bleed or something. It was awful. But, but I did think, why don't I have earmuffs? I should get some earmuffs. You don't see anyone with, I don't see anyone because I'm in Las Vegas, and even though it gets really cold here, it gets so hot in the summertime that people in the wintertime don't really bundle up, so I don't really see too many earmuffs here in Vegas, but I'm sure that people like on the East Coast and in Canada and places that gets really cold probably wear earmuffs often. I need to get some because I couldn't take that. Anywho. So when I was dancing to those steps videos, I was doing some stuff to steps. I was also dancing along with. I was watching live footage from their concerts, and the most recent one, the Party on the Dance Floor tour, they had Tragedy, which obviously, what's funny is that that's their biggest song in the United Kingdom. Actually, it's their biggest song globally, but it's just not that big here in the United States because I think One for Sorrow was actually a bigger hit here in the United States than Tragedy was. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, and I think it's because One for Sorrow was also marketed to the gays as opposed to everything else was just marketed to children. Jive Records is the worst in the United States, I'm sorry. Anyways, but so the video, the music video is a wedding. It's a wedding, and the boys come and they stop everyone's wedding. So the three girls, they stop all three weddings. They go to different churches and stop the weddings. And so the live version on the show, they've got a wedding cake and they have everyone come out with a spouse. So like Lee would have a female dancer and the girls would have a male dancer. But what I found interesting, and I actually thought it was really cool, was that H had another man. Because H is openly gay, so I thought that was really cool, and it was subtle too. It wasn't like, because they weren't center stage and they weren't like making out in front of everyone. They were dancing together, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a nice moment of inclusion, so I really wanted to point that out. I thought that was great. Second of all, I know I could totally do a morning show like Live with Kelly and Regis, or well, Regis is, I love me some Regis. I miss Regis. But like Live with Kelly and Ryan, I just can't say that. I just can't. Because, they do that host chat first thing in the morning. Please. I do that now with my Sudsy recap videos. But I format everything to be under, around 4 minutes, so to fit a 10 to 15 minute show. So I make things a little bit easier, but I could totally do that. I could totally do a morning show, and have the best time too. Kind of find it interesting. Lastly, before we get into Below Deck, I know I'm talking about all this other crap besides Below Deck, but I was a little concerned, not concerned, but I was curious. I was more curious to find out some stats, some statistics about my YouTube channel, which, what's interesting is that, if I upload a video, the next day it's only got like 1, 2, 3 views, like I'm not playing. But a week later, there's like 20 views. You know what I mean? So obviously people aren't watching right when I upload them, which is fine. And some people don't watch every single video. That's fine too. Some people just like Young and the Restless, so they watch the Young and the Restless recaps and that's it. That's fine. That's great. However you want to watch, it's totally fine. The fact that you're watching it all, I love. But I did some analytics and I found out I have a lot more subscribers than I thought I did. That's cool. So in terms of soap operas, the soap opera, the soap community doesn't have that many good, consistent YouTube channels that are posting consistently. Um, so I think that's kind of strange. So my goal is to. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Anyways, let's talk about Below Deck. Okay, we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about my analytics and my nerdy brain, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so Below Deck, season finale, right? What's interesting is there was a few things that, okay, wait, before we even get into that. So, Kate Chastain has a podcast called The After Deck, and she has different guests on, and the last guests were Blake and Emerson from The People's Couch. Now, Blake and Emerson are two of a trio. The other one is Scott Nevins. I don't know where he was, but they watch, they're on The People's Couch. They watch television series and they comment, and they actually were on Below Deck last season. So they were talking about how the one relationship that they really wish they would have explored on the show would have been a Bruno Kyle hookup. And Kate was like, I don't see it. And let me tell you something. I agree with you, Kate, 100%. And personally, I think it's kind of funny that, how that would be like putting me in a room with a gay guy that I have absolutely nothing in common with and saying, oh yeah, you guys should hook up just because we both like boys and that's it. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're the only ones of different sexualities, they should hook up. They have nothing in common. I don't see that happening at all. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, and it's funny because they're gay guys, so you would expect them to, to at least get, oh, maybe that's not a good idea that we're saying that because, we're gay, so we should know what that's like. But but they live in West Hollywood, so, or I think, does Blake live in San Diego? I don't know, but they live in big gay communities, so maybe they don't interact with that many straight people. I don't know. I don't know their life, but I thought that was very interesting that request. I thought that was kind of weird, right? Anywho, all right. So it was the finale, and their charter guest, Timothy Sykes, is a big Wall Street guy, and he's real big. I mean, oh my God, if I hear one more time the word fucking Wi-Fi, I swear to God, I'm going to scream. He's all about the Wi-Fi. But the good news is they really pulled it out of their butts, an amazing charter. Matt was on fire in the kitchen. Now it's the last charter, so it's better than nothing, right? But he did a great job with the food. Kate and Jen and Brianna were all in it in terms of the service, and then the deck crew was working very well and gelling together. It was really great, and they got the biggest tip of the season. I think it was 30 grand, I think. So that's cool. Unfortunately, I was really hoping for a Kate Kyle reunion as friends, where they, kind of get along better, but that didn't happen, and that's unfortunate. But I'm still holding out hope for the reunion because they got along great last season, and they were getting along great, until Kyle decided to voice his concern about the interior after Kate asked if anyone had any issues. So I think, I talked about that last week. Whatever, I just think that wasn't handled the best on both parts. But, live and learn, right? Okay. But that was it, and then they all went their separate ways, and Captain Lee was like, this was and Captain Lee had some really great words to say. He wrote a blog on bravotv.com, and he was talking about how, and he listed every crew member. He was like, the two best crew members to me were Kate, who, consistently pulled it out of her butt every single week. And she never once went to Captain with saying that, you know, the interior, I can't deal with the interior, or I can't handle. She was like, whatever, we'll just get through it, right? And he was like, and Baker. Now, Baker wasn't in charge like Kate was, but she still did great every single charter, and she learned every single charter. So they were the best two. And, you know, everyone else, you know, he was disappointed in Nico, which I understand that. I can totally get that because, you know, the captain, unfortunately now, does not have access to the footage, so he doesn't know what they're saying behind his back and all of that. I wouldn't be surprised though if that changes. So he was very disappointed in Nico in his behavior. Do I have a hair? No. So yeah. And of course, what did he do? He dumps Bree. But I mean, Bree can't be that surprised. I mean, it's like Oprah Winfrey always says, if he cheats with you, he will cheat on you. Now, he didn't cheat, but you knew it wasn't going to last. I'm just saying. Anyways, it was a good season. I'm looking forward to the reunion. I'm excited that there's a reunion. I can't wait to watch it. And then we can put Below Decks to bed until Below Deck Med starts, because that is starting back with Captain Sandy. I love me some Captain Sandy. Okay, so thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Below Deck to talk about Below Deck, or you can also hashtag Days to talk Days of Our Lives. Oh, I cannot wait to talk Days tomorrow. And you can also hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your email inbox every single day. And I want to say thank you to all the people who have subscribed so far. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And I promise to keep making you content every single day about all of our favorite shows. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.